Hello, I'm Refashionista Sheri, and if you love all things vintage and refashioned and upcycled and DIY and thrift flips and all that good stuff, you are definitely in the right place, because every single week I share brand new rockin' Refashionista videos to help you upcycle and refashion your own wardrobe, your friend's wardrobe, stuff around your house, just whatever the heck I can possibly find to improve upon so I can reuse it again. And if that sounds like something cool for you, please go ahead and subscribe, throw me a like on your fave tutorials of mine, and be sure to leave me a comment letting me know the kind of things you want to see me upcycle. Like if you have something in your wardrobe or your house that you want me to figure out how to make into something cool, let me know down below, and I shall try my best to find something similar and create a tutorial just for you. But today, hopefully we're going to be doing something not super difficult. I have my fingers and toes all crossed because, I don't know if you remember, but I recently won a little gift certificate to my local thrift store, and I scored this adorable trench coat shirt dress, which is very, very 80s and very, very cool. I also got a eelskin bag, so I'll link that tutorial to my sharing down below for you, but it was awesome. Anyway, but this is, you know, a little bit too tight in the chesticle area because I inherited my grandma's generous area here. So I have to figure out how I'm going to upsize it, because I really just need to upsize it here, but I don't want to do anything too drastic because I like the length and everything, and I don't want to put in side panels of a different color or pattern. So let's go down to the studio and figure out how we can make this big enough that it fits me comfortably. For this hopefully quick and easy project, all you need is your too snug dress plus some lengths of fabric that you're going to be using for your upsizing panels. Now, you can, of course, do this technique on trousers, on blouses, on jackets, on just about anything where you can open up the sides and add some panels to give you the extra width you need to make it bigger. Now for mine, I'm actually going to use the belt that this dress came with because I don't need to add a lot, and I think this width is just about perfect. So the very first thing I'm going to do is very slowly and carefully pick apart the two halves of this belt, and that will leave me with two very long lengths of fabric. Okay, so now I have two super long pieces of fabric, and again, all I had to do was spend actually quite a long time carefully unpicking that belt, and then of course I did go ahead and I ironed those two pieces and got them as flat as I possibly could. So now I'm going to grab the dress and we're going to see how the heck we're going to insert these and make that dress bigger. Okay, so I have the dress, and I think I figured out how I can insert my two belt pieces all the way down the sides to make it fit me better. So how I did that is I simply went to the side seam, starting at the bottom hem here, and I lined up one end of my chopped belt, and I just followed the seam all the way up the side of the dress here. And once then I got to, where are we here? Once I got to the underarm seam, I pinched the belt there to make sure it wasn't going to move because I had to go around the corner, and then took it all the way down the sleeve. And look, there's actually even some excess here. Now, I think the best thing to do is to remove the sleeve cuffs and then simply unpick this seam that goes from the sleeve cuff all the way down to the bottom hem of the dress, and then I should simply be able to add in my side panels, reattach the sleeve cuffs, and then hopefully it's going to be done. Okay, so I have the dress sides completely opened up, all the way from the bottom hem through to the sleeve cuff. Now I know I said I was going to remove the sleeve cuffs, but I was thinking that if I don't have to, why should I, right? If I can cut a corner here and there, I'm definitely going to do that. Plus the fact that I really do want to make the sleeves a bit wider. And then if I just leave this as it is, hopefully it's going to have a little bit more of a puff here. We'll see, we'll see. So now I have to go grab my inserts and arrange them, then stitch them on. Okay, so I have my dress flipped inside out, and I think I'm going to start at the cuffs. So I'm just going to line up the folded edge here of my little insert with the sleeve cuff hem. And this is totally non-fraying fabric, which is fabulous because it means I don't have to fold over edges or try to finish off the edges. It's not going to fray. I mean, this is definitely from the 80s and it hasn't frayed at all yet. So I think it's pretty safe to say it's not going to fray. All right, so now that I have that part lined up at the sleeve cuff, I'm just going to line up the rest of the raw edge here, and now I'm simply going to go stitch this together all the way down through to the bottom hem. Okay, I have the first side stitched on, and it looks pretty awesome if I do say so myself. Plus, I actually managed to give myself, say, another 3 millimeters here in addition to this. So I think this is going to fit me perfectly. Plus, I'm going to have a little bit of room once it is all stitched together. So now I'm simply going to go and fold that back over, line up the edges once again, and then stitch the other side together to the other side of my dress, and then repeat the whole process once again on the other chopped open side. So I now have both of my side inserts all stitched on, and it came out absolutely fantastic. Of course it did, of course. And even here underneath the arm, it is perfect all the way down the sleeve. And of course, right at the cuffs. How great did that come out? And I'm sure you want to see what it looks like on the inside here, especially at the cuffs. So you can see here, I just kind of trimmed that little bit of excess that was here on the sides. And it's absolutely perfect. I stitched the top bit here, and it's now just, I mean, I don't think you can get any better looking than how this looks here. I am so pleased with this. It is a little bit extra puffy here on the cuff, which is wonderful. So now let's go try this on and style it up. And another triumph in upsizing. Like, look at this. Seriously, it fit me, okay? But it was snug, and I don't play that anymore. You know, I want to go out and be comfortable, but still look awesome. I don't want to be like having to suck in and worry about buttons popping open. So this is fantastic, and I don't know why I didn't think of this sooner, to use the existing matching fabric belt to upsize the garment. Like, easy, right? Too easy. It's definitely time consuming to pick apart that belt, and even more time consuming to pick apart all the seams on both sides, but absolutely worth it because, hello, you can't even tell, and it's perfect now, and don't have to worry about any buttons popping open anymore. And you know what, guys? I want you to tell me, what kind of tutorials would you love me to make for you? You know, I've had people asking for more household and decor tutorials. Other people really like the upsizing ones, the refashioning, the thrift flips, all of that kind of stuff. So just let me know down below. If it's a variety that you want to see, then let me know which ones. And as always, you get 50% off my Refashioning 101 e-course with the code REFASHION50, so be sure to check that out. And I have a new series that I am doing for you guys at the end of my videos, so always stick around to the end, right? Because you're either going to get a troll time or you're going to get some cool other little series I'm doing. And the new one that I'm starting today is called Cool Things in My House. Because I lived all over the world and I've been thrifting for years, and I have some pretty cool things around my house that I think deserve to take the spotlight. So let's get started. So this Wohnzimmerschrank in my living room is very, very cool, and you can tell by the name that this is something I got when I was living in Berlin, Germany, and it actually was part of a set, and I got it for about $25, and it is absolutely gorgeous, and I have no idea how we managed to get it over here to Canada with us, but we did. And if we take a closer look, there's some cool things in there, so let's see what this is. So this cool thing in my house, I actually thrifted when I was living in London, England, and it is so cute. It says whistle for your milk, and then there is a whistle on there, and it was made in Japan, and I think I got this for 50p, so 50 pence. I don't know the equivalent, but let's see if it works still. Kind of. You can kind of whistle for your milk. I mean, I definitely don't drink out of this. It just kind of sits there and looks adorable in my Wohnzimmerschrank. And here's another cool thing for my house. This is something I actually got for $1 at a garage sale here in Toronto, and it was all taped shut, and the elderly gentleman would not let me open it to see what it was. He was just basically like, "It's only $1, get it." So I was like, "Sure, dude, whatever." So I got it. And of course, as we were leaving, I opened it up immediately, and it is so very cool and probably worth more than $1. So thank you, grumpy old man. So now let me show you what's inside. All right, this one definitely is for anyone who loves vintage. And look at that. Any idea what that is? There's two of them. And when we open this up and we twist this, we have ourselves a fantastic travel hanger. How cool is that? And it's super sturdy, you know, surprisingly so, but it's just like the coolest thing ever. It's a bit stiff, but I mean, it's very, very old. So, but I guess, yeah, you would pack those in your suitcase if you were going on a trip of some kind, and then you would never be without a hanger. So awesome. So what do you think? Should I share more cool things from my house at the end of my videos? I think I should, but you let me know, because, you know, I do have a lot of cool things, and most of them are vintage, or I made them and upcycled them myself, and a lot of them are from around the world, so that's pretty cool. Hence the name, Cool Things from My House. Anyway, before I let you guys go, I must show you my fabulous new earrings here. Look at that. They are scissors, but it looks like the scissors are like chopping my earlobe off. So, I mean, fantastic, right? Okay, I don't know what else to say except stay safe, stay well, and I'll catch ya on the zigzag. Coolest earrings ever.
This is Confessions of a Refashionista.